Hey everybody, here we are. Sorry we missed you. No, we didn't miss you. You missed us. I don't know who missed anybody. We missed out last week. We had a little bit of a death in the animal family, so we didn't quite get our shit together. But here we are at Strathley Hills with a lot of noise. Julie's cooking.
Yes, we're up to episode 10.
Celebration.
We're doing sticky Pawk ribs. Obviously made with seitan. It's a really yummy dish on barbecues, or you can do it in the oven. And it's going to be really exciting.
I'm excited.
It'll be good. It's nice. Yeah.
So it's our first venture into seitan.
I'm going to show you how to make it and how to marinate it and how to. Cooking's easy, so that's the least hard part. But let's get going. Do the camera work again?
Yeah, she can do the camera work. Michael.
We're going to start off making a browning liquid. You need 1/4 teaspoon of it in your seitan, but this makes quite a bit. But you can keep it in the cupboard for up to 4 months. So any seitan you make in the future, it's there. You don't have to worry about it. Okay. So we're going to start off with 1/2 cup of organic sugar. You can buy this from the supermarket, so it's not fancy. Now this needs to melt, but do not whisk it, do not stir it, don't fucking touch it until it is melted. So to stop it from sticking, I just keep an eye on it and just keep moving it around, and you'll find that it'll slowly just melt and it becomes bubbly and thick, which we'll come back to. This here is the stock that's going to be added into that, but we don't do that until this is all gone, doing its thing. Here we have 1/4 cup of hot water, I've boiled it. 2 tablespoons of tamari or soy, 1 tablespoon of dark balsamic vinegar. So this just sits on the side until this is all doing its thing. So we'll just keep an eye on this and come back to it. Okay, as you can see, it's melting, so we're nearly there. Get your whisk ready at this stage, because once this starts to bubble, which you'll see, we're going to add the stock, and then we're going to whisk it, not for very long, and then we're going to set it aside and let it cool. Oh, sorry. Okay, so this is all melted.
Ooh, that's really naughty.
So I have not put a spoon to this yet. I've just kept an eye on it and kept doing this. Now you can start now seeing it. It's going to start bubbling and it's going to start rising. So when that happens, and see the colour changes. So keep stirring it, because any minute now we're going to add the stock. So just a few more seconds on that, and here it goes, I think. Yeah, so you just got to catch it at that stage there, and we're going to put the stock in now and do it slowly, because this is what happens. And this is where, so just a little bit at a time. And this is the only time you put a whisk to it. So just a little bit more. And then the whole thing. So just be careful of that, because it can jump up and spit on you. So we're just going to whisk that in. That can get turned off now, and we're going to set this aside and just let it cool. So we're going to be making the seitan now, and I've bought, Rizzy's bought a block of firm tofu. Now this is just the normal size one that you normally get from the supermarket.
250 grams, 185, something like that.
I normally just wrap it in paper toweling and just give it a good squeeze out all the water. Once all that's done, you need 70 grams of tofu. So look, seriously, just fucking guess it. Go there. I normally think, that's about 70.
Yeah, I would think that too.
So break that up into your blender. So chuck that in. We need. This is the browning liquid that we did at the start. So this is all cooled. Now all I need is seriously that much.
Wow.
All right, so that's about 1/4 teaspoon of browning liquid. Then we put a tablespoon of vegetable oil. So I'm not one for this has got to be exact. We've got soy sauce here. So it's another tablespoon of soy sauce. And then we have miso paste.
Miso paste.
So it's just the spiral organic miso. It says to use white, but just use the light stuff. Don't use the dark one. So a tablespoon of that. Chuck that in. And what we'll do is we'll add half a cup of water. So chuck that in as well. And we're going to blend this, and you've got to really blend it until the tofu is like creamy. So okay. For your seitan, you actually need the vital wheat gluten flour. Now, thank you, Riz, for getting me this because it's absolutely a lifesaver. So what we do need is a cup of this. So I'm going in and obviously getting a cup. Now this is your dry ingredients, and in the blender was your wet, which we're going to combine in a minute.
Which is over there.
Yeah. So we've got a cup of gluten flour. We get a teaspoon of onion powder. So chuck that in. We have garlic powder, which we'll need 1.5 teaspoons of that.
You're like me with the garlic powder.
And about 1/4 teaspoon of ground white pepper. So fuck the teaspoon. I'm just going to do it with my hand. That's about right. All right, that'll do. Now, this is the dry, so now we're going to do is combine the wet. So this comes off, and we're going to pop this into here and slowly combine it. So it's amazing. This turns out like chewing gum at the end, doesn't it, Riz?
Yeah.
It's like a big chewy. It's like a big hubba
You
bubba.
think, oh, how's that going to work? But
Yeah.
it does.
And the flavours are beautiful. Like when this gets in the oven and comes back out, you could eat it just like that.
Yeah, you could. Well, you could.
Yeah. So all that goes in there, and then we're just going to combine it. And this turns into a big dough ball, literally, which we're going to need in the bowl itself. It's at the moment it's all lumpy. See that? It's all crumbly. So that's all right. No panic. Just have a wine. Where's my fucking wine?
There's a wine.
Yeah, so just do that. That's fine. Take that off. Wash your hands, and then use your hands.
And you shouldn't overknead it, should you?
Shouldn't overknead it, but you just want to get it all clumped in and into one big ball.
Yep.
So we'll do that for a few minutes, and you can see now it's already starting to come together.
Yep.
So we do this for about a minute, Riz. So maybe you don't have to film me for a minute doing this because it's pretty. So I've been kneading this for about a minute.
Yeah, I think about a minute.
So it's like chewing gum, but don't put it in your mouth. So goes on a baking tray. Now what I've done and what I found was the bottom tends to burn quicker than the top. So Rizzy, my darling Rizzy, came up with this idea of putting foil on the bottom with the shiny bit down, and then baking paper. And then you just need to stretch this out so it's thin. So Riz, we'll come back to this because it takes a while. So. Okay, so I've been trying to get this thing flat, which is a bastard, but it does work. Rizzy said, pull out the rolling pin. I said, all right, before the sledgehammer. Take your time, but just roll it out so it's quite, not too flat, but, you know,
Anyone see?
about that flat.
See how that's the ear of a rabbit?
So that goes then onto the baking tray, and this has got to be covered with foil because we want it to steam inside the oven. So, fuck, that's baking paper. I always do this. Righty. So then, notice how I get all flustered, Riz? I get flustered.
I don't know why you're flustered.
Fucking
You've had too much wine.
So then we cover this thing. Okay, just make sure it's all
What's the oven temperature?
180.
Cool.
Yeah, and I just put another bit down here because then it just traps it all in. Traps the steaming. You don't want to let out any steam. So
It's ready to go in the oven.
ready to go in the oven, and we bake it for 45 minutes on 180.
Here it goes.
So we've got the seitan in the oven cooking, so we're just going to get the marinade ready, and when that comes out of the oven and it's cooled, you can cut it to any size you want. But so we're going to get this ready, and so we can baste it when it's cool. So we need 1/3 cup of soy or tamari, doesn't matter. So come on. So chuck that in. Hoisin sauce, I love this stuff, so go nuts, it's beautiful. Third of a cup of that, and just a bit more. Right, then we need a tablespoon of rice wine vinegar, so that's in there. Rice syrup, so that's in place of a honey dish.
Yeah.
So we don't use honey, so we use this. A tablespoon, I can't believe I'm using a tablespoon, normally it just goes straight in. So you're very lucky to see me measuring anything. That goes in there, and what's next?
Brown sugar?
No, sorry, tablespoon of brown sugar.
Sorry about that, guys.
So brown sugar, tablespoon. We have minced 2 garlics, that goes in there.
Yeah.
And then we got 5 spice powder, which you can get from the supermarket, it's not hard. We need half a teaspoon. This is really potent stuff, so don't overdo it with that. That goes in there, and then we mix it all up. And then that's it. We have wine while we're waiting for the ribs to cook.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, so just mix all that up and wait for them to be ready. Okay, so the seitan is nearly ready to come out of the oven. Now, the trick to this dish is you've got to make the seitan the day before because it needs to sit in that oven package for 8 hours, if not overnight. And tomorrow, which is when I'm going to do it, is I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to pour this marinade over it. When I cut it up, like I'll cut up into small bits, you can cut up into
Like rib shape?
rib shape things, anyway, whatever, hearts, whatever. This is the marinade, so I'm just going to pour these chopped spring onions in there. There's not many. I think I chopped, what was it, Riz? 2 or 3?
2 or 3, because you can have
Yeah, so that goes in the marinade as well. And I'm just going to glad wrap this because it's going to be beautiful. Tomorrow, when they're cooled and they've been sitting for 8 hours, well, really more than that because it's tomorrow, I'm going to unwrap it, I'm going to cut it into the pieces I want, I'm going to marinate it, and you marinate that for 3 hours, and then it's ready to barbecue, bake in the oven. Today we had it grilled, so that was lovely, wasn't it, Riz?
Yes, it was.
So fucking lovely, she's speechless.
I'm speechless because we're out of sync, but that's okay.
But yeah, it's a really good dish. So it's
pretty yum.
And it's pretty easy. This probably looks more complicated than what it is. So give it a crack, and we want to see your photos up
Absolutely. Doing it vegan.
Facebook.
Yes.
Okay. So the seitan has been in the fridge for 8 hours, which it has to be. So this is a dish you make the day before. Actually, I should have made that really clear. Do this the day before because it does need to, once you've done the seitan, it needs to sit in the fridge for 8 hours or overnight, even better. So when it's ready, you pull it out, and I'll show you what it looks like. It's on a big tray. You cut it into pieces you want. You can do little pieces, or you can do it in rib type pieces. And then we sit that in a marinade, which I'll take you through later. And this has been in the marinade now for about 4 hours, but it just needs about maybe 3 hours. So this is going to go in the grill. Now a little bit of the marinade's been left over here. You can see it's nice and thick. And I'm just going to keep an eye on that and baste it as we're grilling it. So it's not going to take long, and we're going to, can't wait to stick my chops into it.
Okay, here we are. Check this out. Looks pretty awesome. This is Graham. Graham is Julie's jack of all trades.
Number 1 man.
Number 1 man, fixer. The fixer, you're the fixer.
And I'm eating fake meat today. Tastes pretty good.
Graham, you are a pie chip man. You don't even know what a vegetable looks like. What, honest opinion, what do you think of that?
Pretty good.
Actually, what did you
Tastes
say it
pretty good.
was? Crunchy meat.
Crunchy meat.
How awesome is that?
Crunchy meat.
As you can see, everybody, it looks pretty good, and I'm going to tuck into it, and we will see you.
I haven't eaten for about 4 hours, so I'm pretty hungry too.
So you reckon that's
Does that help?
You bloody Australian.
So you reckon that's why it tastes good?
No, it actually tastes pretty good.
Yeah, it looks amazing. I haven't
I can
tasted it
handle
yet.
it. I would prefer it if it was hot.
Oh, is it cold?
Oh, it's
Jill.
cold.
Okay, I better taste it. Anyway, we'll see everybody next week. Get into
Yeah,
this.
I'll come up and taste another one.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.